Hello guys and welcome. So yesterday I made a video to appreciate Ademola Lookman and his family for actually choosing to play for the Super Eagles ahead of the English national team or the England national team, as the case may be, and to appreciate his family for supporting his decision. Then I went on to scrutinize the Super Eagles and their performance for almost 6 years, because we've had majority of these players that played yesterday against Benin. Majority of the players, because I know some persons will still come and call me out. I'm saying majority of the players, not everybody, right? We've had them play for almost 6 years, right? And they don't give their all when it comes to playing for the Super Eagles. That is my standpoint. Can they perform better than they are currently or have been playing for the Super Eagles? Of course, yes. When you're called up to play for your national team, to put on your national team jersey, right, it's more of a honor to actually represent your country, because there are millions, trillions of people, footballers playing the same, football that you play, but they don't have the opportunity. So long as you've accepted the invitation to play for your national team, you must give it your all. When it comes to professionalism, you must give it your all. I'm not saying kill yourself for Nigeria. I'm not saying kill yourself for Super Eagles. But of course, see, a standard has been set by players who have played for the Super Eagles in the past. The likes of Stephen Keshi, Austin Eguavoen, the present interim coach of the Super Eagles, Segun Odegbami, Finidi George. I can go on and on, about the players that have played and set a precedent, when it comes to how other football nations look at us with fear when they want to play against us, either when we're playing in the African Nation Cup, or whether we're playing World Cup qualifiers, or whether we're even playing in the World Cup, even if it's a friendly, for crying out loud. Some of those players I've listed, these are like a small fraction of the players that have played for the Super Eagles, to make sure that Super Eagles is a name that is going to be remembered for a very long time when it comes to football, African football and world football globally. But our problem in Nigeria is that we celebrate mediocrity. We give excuses to mediocrity. And that is why even our nation itself is in this state that we are. I'm talking about the state of inefficiency when it comes to every sector of Nigeria. I'm talking about how deteriorated the economy is. I'm talking about the rising rate of unemployment. I'm talking about the ever-rising rate of poverty, compared to, the few selected percentage of people that are actually doing so well in Nigeria. So, guys, for the persons who actually came into my DM to contest what it is, my opinion. See, we all have our opinion, which is very fine, right? That's why we're in a democratic setting. But for us to get things right, we must set aside our personal feelings, or the personal rapport that we have with some persons, or the personal love, or feelings that you have towards someone you like and appreciate, and look at the greater purpose that that particular event or something that's happening at that time is supposed to serve. And in this case, as of yesterday, that football match that was played, in Uyo against Benin, the greater, aim was for Nigeria to qualify to the African Cup of Nations. And that is the aim, right? If these guys are doing it right, nobody's going to complain. When you look at teams like Egypt, you look at teams like Morocco, you look at teams like Algeria, you look at teams like Senegal. It's not about the name that is written at the back of their jersey. It's about the inputs they give when it comes to delivery on the pitch. And these are questionable qualities of the Super Eagles players. We know how much they deliver when it comes to, their respective clubs. And what we are saying is reciprocate it when you play for your national team. Is that too much to ask? Very few players are actually putting their mind and body and soul to ensure that Super Eagles actually, go far in every competition they compete in. And it's so very sad. Imagine that Lookman, Ademola Lookman didn't have to put on that sheer level of brilliance to give us the first goal. Would you think, even we're not soothsayer, as bad as we were playing, do you think we would have gotten the momentum to actually score 3? That's what we're talking about. When we meet, opponents who are really good on the ball, like the teams I've mentioned, Nigeria are not going to play very well. The Super Eagles are going to play very badly. See, take an example as to the last African Cup of Nations that we played. Imagine that particular final we played against Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast had a very bad performance in that particular African Cup of Nations, the last African Cup of Nations. And we had a better performance in the run through to the final. But imagine how bad we played. To think that we played so well, even though the first 2 games were not really that good, and we had a lot of players that were shaky, but we got better over time as a team. Going into the competition and the last African Cup of Nations, then to get to the final to play an underperforming Ivory Coast. It's so sad. So this is just my pain points. And I know a lot of Nigerians can relate to this. What we're saying is, when you guys come to play for Nigeria, give in your best. When you do your best and it's not enough in that particular encounter or match, we can see it as Nigerians and would not complain. Would know luck is not on our side. But when we expect you guys to perform, it's been a long time coming, for crying out loud. We used to be the best when it comes to football in this continent. Look at the amount of Nigerians that we have applying their trades when it comes to football in the world. The number cannot be, contended to other teams in Africa. So what are we saying? If these professionals are not ready to play, go to the home-based teams. We have the MPL there. We have the NNL there. Pick players from there. Players who are willing to make names for themselves. Players who are willing to play for the Super Eagles. Put them there and let them play. Because at the end of the day, if professionals will play as if they're not experienced, like they're not actually, paid to do so, then they are no different from picking inexperienced players to try their luck. So that's just my standpoint. And I hope that Nigerians will begin to understand, that it's not a personal vendetta against anybody. We just want this team to do well. The country as a whole is going through a lot of turmoil, a lot of inefficiency when it comes to, service delivery from the leaders to its people. And if football is the only thing that is going to put a smile on our faces, that should be, it should be done properly. That's all we're saying. If you have a contrary opinion, guys, slide into the comment section. Let me hear your opinion as to whether or not you think all that I've said makes sense or not. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay blessed.